if you shoot and it's not on YouTube, did it even happen? I'm not sure.
What's up, YouTube? Alright, you may or may not know this about the channel. If this is your first time, you probably don't know, but if you have watched any videos about the channel in the past before, you might know I'm kind of a Beretta fan. So what this video is about, no mystery there, is LOK Grips. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an unboxing of some LOK Grips. What I currently have on my Beretta are what's called like cool hand grips. They're like Amazon cheapy stuff. Not to knock them, they've been pretty functional. But LOK Grips, who's been around for quite some time and a big supporter of the shooting sports in general, and just have some really great products. They reach out to me and they wanted to send me some grips. I of course said yes, because I have previously used LOK Grips, and I have several guns which have LOK Grips on them. My Berettas were not them yet. So I took this opportunity and we did some back and forth, and they sent me a couple pairs of grips. So what you saw there was the thin grips. Those are the Veloce, just regular Veloce standard size grips. That I showed you the compact grips, the thin compact grips, and then the skinny full-size grips, but we'll go through each one of them as we go along here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Veloce ones, if that's how it's supposed to be said, on my competition gun, which is a Beretta 92A1. And a little color coordination there is what's going to happen. So that's what this video is going to be about, is sort of my thoughts of these grips. And you can see what all they threw in the package there. One of the things that's probably worth mentioning early on is that LOK Grips are made here in America. And so they're US made grips by a company in America. They're not, you know, some random manufacturer in China. And, you know, they also support the shooting sports, which I've mentioned already. And if those things are important to you, then, you know, consider where you purchase your grips from. So there's a little list of what they were sending me. And you can see it's quite been a while since they sent them to me versus when I'm doing this video. So I appreciate their patience on that. But though I got the Veloce blue and black, right, for the 92. That's right there. And those are probably the ones I was most interested in. Because I don't know if you know the Humble Marksman buddy of mine. He tried them out and was a big fan. Then we got the compact thin Cyclone grips in gray and black. And I have a compact which I use for daily carry every now and then. It's in the rotation. And then I got the thin, full checkered, dark red and black ones. And those are also sort of a carry interest. I also occasionally carry a full-size 92FS in the winter, generally. So let's take a look at these each. And again, just showing the info. Made in the USA. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. Especially in the, you know, for what's been happening in the last couple of years. I think everyone should wake up to that. And then again, this will be the third time I mention it, but anybody that supports the shooting sports like they do, I'm a big fan of them. I like to do business with those companies that put their money where their mouth is, and LOK Grips, they always do that. So I stuck the sticker there on my bench, just double checking to make sure there's no anything else in that packing stuff. So we're going to get started here. We're going to replace the grips first on the 92A1. Now, I've previously commented on these cool hand grips, and I like these grips. There's nothing wrong with these grips, but I think as this video goes on, you'll see why I believe that the Veloce pattern is a superior pattern and a superior grip. But in terms of just improving over the stock 92A1 Beretta grips, I'm not sure. You know, the cool hand grips are a viable option for sure. The little cutout at the top there is something that they did for me at a Georgia Fire Line and in Marietta, so that I could get to the controls a little better. And so just pay attention to that little detail. It might be a little bit important as we put this on too, as we put on the new grips. So just a little test fit. You can see straight out of the bag onto the gun. No adjustment needed. It's just going to pop right on there. That's big. You can see it's already got the cutout for the controls at the top there. And I think that was me just commenting on how aggressive that grip is. Because this is the first time I've had them out of the bag. This was a true unboxing. There's that where that cutout was. And I'm just kind of, for the first time, trying it on, seeing how I think I like it. Seeing where the grip is on the pattern. And here's a comparison of the width of the cool hand versus the LOK grip. They appear to be comparable. Again, I was sort of impressed. There was no need to shave or file or anything. They just kind of pressed right on there. Sorry about bumping the camera. The way I was able to do this filming, just FYI, is just do this sort of B-roll footage and then I'm commenting over it later while it's calmer around the house and while there's less noise and kids and dogs and stuff. So hopefully this works out. So this is me. I'm not making this gun any more deadly, YouTube. I am merely replacing replaceable grips, which is totally normal and everyday. It does not make this gun any more deadly. Not that I'm monetized or anything like that, which is one of the nice things when you're not monetized. You don't have to worry so much about that. But this is just making these guns safer, honestly, for a better grip. All right, let's get out the other panel there. Again, nice press fit there. No issues, fitment, or anything like that. And the first time I really get to feel the grip as LOK has designed it. The front pattern is sort of that dimple golf ball pattern. We're going to go in for sort of a close in here. And that's where it really grabs your fingertips as you wrap around the gun. And the back is, it's kind of hard to say. It's almost like a cobblestone kind of, like each one of those is a little square that has a circle kind of cut out of it. And that really is grippy. But between the golf ball pattern for the front, which grabs your fingertips, and that other sort of rear pattern that really bites into your hand itself, I am a big fan of these grips and the texture. I think it's a phenomenal competition option. And just so we don't show any construction there. Now here's where's the biggie. Here, listen to this. This is the cool hand. And then listen to the difference. So that's like a little nylon pad. And it just grabs that nylon versus the cool hand. So you feel that. That's like the best way I can describe the difference between these two. That was a good bit of pressure I was putting on the cool hand grips, and it just sort of slid right over it. Where that is picking up all those fibers, all those nylon fibers in that little nylon pad. That's the best way to illustrate, in my opinion, the difference in the grippiness between these two grips. And the Veloce and the LOK grips really just get in there. And then I think here I'm just going to really grab it and show you where it really digs into your hand. So look at my hand after I kind of put a good grip pressure on it. You'll see in my palm where you're getting the traction there. Hopefully the video picks up. You can see on the tips of my fingers you got the golf ball, and then towards the right at the end of my palm there you got the other pattern. I'm not sure what they call that, but I'm really happy with that. And I've actually shot with it now. At the time of recording this I had not fired it yet, but you can see where it's really allowing my hand to get good purchase in all of the areas that you would want it to. And through experience now, having shot it a couple times, it is effective even while fired and even while under recoil. So very happy about that. So with that sort of established, we are coming to the compact. So this is my compact 92 FS compact. I've done other videos on this and the modifications I made, which is G conversion, bobbed hammer. You can actually see, you know, this is how it was sitting in my safe, and I actually will show clear on this one since it did come out loaded. And I'm actually taking the ammo off into a whole nother section of the room. So. And I strongly suggest that if you're unloading a gun, just get the ammo out of the way, get the ammo away from yourself so as not to have any accidents. So here we go. We're going to throw these compact grips on them. I believe this Cyclone pattern, as mentioned earlier. So grips come off. They do actually come with these washers, which I'm really happy about. That will keep the screws from backing out, and they have like a little channel in the grip itself for the washer to sit. And that is a replacement for the little other washers that Beretta occasionally uses, which I think I show those, but you can really see the width difference right there. That's a huge difference. The thin grips are super thin. The factory's on the left and the LOK Grips on the right, but they also still feel sturdy. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna crack them or anything like that. But the width difference is huge. They're a little bit of width around where the bushing is, where the screw is for the grip. But you'll see it here, just how much thinner they are than the factory. Up towards the top where the screw is, a little thickness, and then down towards the bottom screw, a little thickness too. But in the middle section there, you can really get your hand wrapped around, and it really becomes a big difference once you get both grip panels on. But I'm doing that to show you the difference between the left side and the right side with the width. Okay, grabbing all the little washers that I'll need. Those are the factory ones. But these are like an O-ring rather than a metal washer. I believe it comes with the Berettas. I don't have a big preference as long as they work and they keep the screws from backing out. I just thought I would mention that it is provided to you with the grips. And I thought that was, I mean, it's necessary. It's something that you would expect, but again, when you're ordering sort of off Amazon, for example, you never sort of really know what it is that you're going to get, and it's nice for LOK to provide what is essentially the whole product, and they've considered all of those, and that is given to you as part of that package. So worth mentioning. So once those grips are off, I try and fit this other side on. As you can see, no issues with fitment. It just sort of presses right on there, and actually, you know, it does a pretty good job of staying on there without needing even the screws. Obviously you wouldn't do that long term, but and then there's the width, but they hold on to the bushings pretty good. It's a really tight fit already. That's clear still, but it feels really good in the hand. The screw, for a right-hander at least, the bushing on the right side is providing a good spot to kind of get good traction on that grip. But they feel thin, but they don't feel so thin that I can't get some grip on them. So I'm really trying to just grab really hard, see where the texture sort of makes an impression in my hand. I like the Cyclone texture. It goes way up high on the grip. Very, very grippy, and the being sort of wider at the bottom also around the screw really makes that a good place for you to make sure you get a good grip. And in case you didn't know, Berettas actually have the screws in different spots due to the trigger bar, so that's a fun thing to show. But at the bottom where it sort of flares right there, I find I get a lot of good grip there while being able to save a lot of the width during carry. So nice little feature there. Good texture, sort of these little like diamonds in a, you know, swirl pattern, like they have those little channels that kind of go. But again, just maybe because it's the G10 material, it's a little bit more like, I would not have mind this riding up against my skin in a holster, in an in-waistband holster, but it does tend to grab into your hand a little better than some of the other materials. So I'm very happy with it. It's staying on that gun, staying on that carry, and you know, really happy with it. And it actually will probably help that gun fit the IDPA CCP box as well. And then finally we have the 92FS, which is just a late 90s 92FS, pretty unmodified. It's the one that I will occasionally carry for winter carry. I just love the patina on this gun. I love the use. I think it's just a great gun. It shoots amazing, and I really don't mind the wear on it. And it's wearing these cool hand grips, which again, I don't really have a problem with them. And I certainly won't rescind my recommendation for the cool hand grips, except that having shot these LOK grips, and in a direct comparison with the LOK grips, I think the LOK grips come ahead pretty good for some of the reasons I've already showed you. So we're going to try these thin grips, the thin full checkered grips, and see if they are appropriate on this pistol. I think one of the biggest things is just, if you're familiar with an LTT, Beretta LTT, I'm pretty sure this is the same width profile that is on some of the LTT grips, except I really like the full checker. It seems to keep it almost even thinner while still doing a plenty good job of staying stuck in your hand. Like the LTT has sort of a diamond pattern that grabs your hands, and then you can just see the width difference there. Still plenty grippy. Makes that extended mag release seem like way out there, but I've not found it to be in the way. One of the things here, and this is something you should always pay attention to with new grips on a Beretta in particular, is the trigger bar channel. Make sure that when you install new grips, it doesn't rub, and therefore making your trigger pull heavier and worse. So that's very important. If you buy just cheap grips off the internet or something, you could very well get something out of spec, which rubs your trigger bar and dramatically increases your double action and single action pull if the channels malform. So I was just checking that, making sure that the LOK grips look good, and they do look good. And again, I everything about the fitment on these on Berettas appears to be dialed in and with no problem. And then there's the washers, which again, nice touch. You do have to sort of make sure you don't get the washer in the actual screw channel itself, but that's just really, really minor thing to just pay attention for. You don't want to put the washer in the screw area and like rip it up, and it certainly would work, but only just that once. And there we go. We'll take a look at how these thin grips look on the back there. Full checker all the way up to the top. Something that would feel good in your hand but not rub your skin overly bad. So that's pretty nice, especially if you want to intend this for carry, which is generally how I use this pistol. I would compete with it occasionally, but since it's not a G conversion, it's a little bit, it's just, and without replaceable sights, I've got better options. But all right, so we're going to try and grab it pretty hard, see where this pattern shows up in my hand, see where it shows up in the pistol, in the palm, where the pistol is pressing on and into my hand. So maybe a little hard to see on that camera angle. Yep, I think we saw the screw hole at the top of the palm there. But and then finally the full family shot with all three of the new grips on the various Berettas that I have. And these are some of my favorite guns. And now with the grips, I like them even more. I think for competition, the clear winner is that Veloce pattern, or however the Veloce. I'm gonna stick with Veloce, but that I've now fired that gun in 2 separate matches with that pattern, and it really does exactly what it's meant to do. It just grab your hand and not let go. The thin grips, I almost think that the thin grips are better. They appear to be skinnier than the LTT pattern, although I did not directly compare them. But if you want something that will not rub your skin overly bad, I do suggest that full checkering pattern. I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm just mostly impressed with that. The fit, The pattern, where they're putting the pattern, it seems like smart, well thought out. And then for the compact, and they really nail how thin it can be without losing sort of the purpose of grips, which is to make your firearm controllable, right? So big fan out of all three grips for sure. All right, that's it, guys. So if you made it this far, please like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you'll catch all the new content as I release it. So appreciate it. Put down in the comments what you think. But I think these products are a winner, and I'm a big fan. So appreciate you watching. Take care.